Hello guys, wish you a warm good afternoon to all of you. I welcome all of you to CLAT Gurukul, and I am Nilanjan, the teacher of English. I am dealing with the English section over here, and as you know that this is a very tough time everybody is going through. It's all about pandemic. Once again lockdown is going to be imposed. Nobody knows what is going to happen in coming future. But considering that particular point of view, actually what I want to say that CLAT Gurukul has been catering to the needs of all of you. Number of practice materials have already been uploaded in the LMS section. Also, all those materials are available, right? And we are also giving lots of practice sheets. And today it is the right time that I should discuss the DPP, that is daily practice paper, your DPS, your daily practice sheet. I am talking about English section, and one by one I will be elaborating and explaining all the viewpoints regarding that practice sheet number 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So just gear up, be on your toes, and get yourself engaged in lots of practice session which is coming up. Okay, so without wasting time, let us talk about the first passage number 1. Here in this particular passage, it is written that when the second wave of COVID-19 hit hard, many people losing their loved ones, Dr. Arvind Eye Care System realized even their conversation, the workplace were changing. If you go through the passage, you will come to know that this passage is dealing with the after effect of pandemic. Yeah, during the pandemic, what the people have lost, right? So many things happened. In fact, we have a radical change in the lifestyle of our lifestyle, right? What you were supposed to do before pandemic, now the entire scenario has been completely changed. What you were not supposed to do, right now you are going to do like that. And the passage is dealing with these kind of facts and figures, right? Now, if I move on, I will come to know we were serious all the time and sharing sad stories. So it's the author is actually trying to depict the sad stories due to the pandemic. It was an emotionally draining phase, and I felt the need to bring on some positivity, says Dr. Pritika Gandhi, cornea consultant at Aravind Eye Hospital at Madurai. So more or less, if you go through the entire passage, you will come to know that different kind of doctors have shared their personal opinion regarding this particular phase. Okay, she came up with the idea of asking the staff, their families and patients across the centers of AECS what they missed the most during the pandemic, right? So I have already told you that before pandemic the situation was completely different, but after now it's just has become the hell of a life. Whatever we are going to do, it doesn't create any kind of sense over there. It doesn't create any interest in the people, but still we have to persist with that, and we have to continue with the proceedings whatever we have been doing for the last 4 to 5 months once again. Okay, so during the lockdown 4, the duo respected eye doctors working with 14 AEH in Tamil Nadu, Puducherry and Andhra Pradesh to send video clips showing them with and without a smile and what difference it makes when the mask is on. Earlier on, it was quite different. The people used to smile. They didn't have their mask on their faces. But now, as you know, that this particular phase is a really critical one. That's why people are having their masks on their face, and eventually they're losing their smiles, and that is the highlighting factor that has been depicted by the author throughout the passage, right? So that was the basic thing which has already been discussed in this particular passage. Now the source is the Hindu. I have taken the passage from the Hindu newspaper. As you all know that from the perspective of CLAT examination, the newspaper, the Hindu is really important. Hindu and Indian Express. Okay. Without wasting time, straight away going to question number 1. It is written that the passage primarily focuses on which of the following? Passage primarily focus कर रहे हैं कौन ऐसा option? A, B, C, D, 4 options are mentioned over here. Now, throughout the passage, one thing is you can be pretty sure about it, that the author is depicting the losing smile of the people because they are having their masks on their faces, right? Option A, lethal impact of COVID-19 on human being. Okay, I cannot ignore this particular fact, but the question you should take into consideration, the passage primarily focuses on. There are several factors which can be taken into consideration. But my dear students, the thing is that you have to identify the primarily focused factor is which one. Option B, the miserable condition of people as they cannot lead a normal life. Now, once again, it can be considered, but author is not primarily focusing on this particular fact, right? Next one, many people lost their relatives, friends, and got isolated. Once again, it is a well accepted fact, but the thing is that author is not primarily focusing on this particular fact. Moving to option D, less smile of people behind masks. I have already told you that the passage begins, or rather the author wanted to highlight the losing smile of the people as they have their mask on their faces, and that is being primarily focused by the author. So if we just concentrate on the question, the passage primarily focuses on which of the following? Obviously, D is the perfect choice over here. Less smile of people behind mask, and that has been discussed by the author throughout the passage. Right. Let us move to question number 2. Which is incorrect statement according to the passage? इस पैसेज के बेसिस पे कौन ऐसा स्टेटमेंट है आउट ऑफ द 4 ऑप्शंस गिवन ओवर देयर which is incorrect? Option A, according to glaucoma consultant Dr. Manju R. Pillai, a smile begins at the lips, but it can be seen in our eyes as it engages the ocular muscle. It has already been explicitly mentioned in the passage. That's why we cannot consider it as incorrect statement. If you just getting back to the passage, I will show you. This is the line where it is written that says this one, the eye narrow, a smile begins at lips, it can be seen, this particular line. So how could you say that it should be incorrect one? It is the correct statement that has been taken directly from this particular passage. B, according to Dr. Shruti Nishant, smiling has an effect on your emotional state. Once again, it is a statement that has been directly taken from this particular passage. Okay, let me find it out. Dr. Shruti, you have to find out this particular line, this one. As you see that, what topped list was I miss a smile with her, and why people looked at their smile, coronavirus and all these things, sister-in-law Shruti Nishant. So once again, what you can easily guess it out, that this particular statement has been directly taken from this passage, so it should not be categorized as the incorrect one, right? Option C, the duo decided to make a video that reminds people how a smile is one of the most crucial tools of communication. Once again, it is clearly mentioned in this particular passage, so it should not be considered as the incorrect statement. So finally, we are left with one option, that is option D, and it is written, Dr. Pritika Gandhi, cornea's consultant at Aravind Eye Hospital, Madurai, felt the need to bring on some positivity. Now here you need to check. The name is given Dr. Pritika Gandhi. Now here, if you go through this last paragraph, you will find that it is written, Dr. Haripriya Arvind, cataract chief at AILET Chennai, and according to her, smiling has an effect on your emotional state. So here the name is wrong. That has been mentioned wrongly. Okay, here the name you find Dr. Pritika Gandhi, actually it should be Dr. Haripriya Arvind, right? So from that perspective, you can easily conclude that option D is the correct answer, which is to be considered as the incorrect statement, which is not based on the paragraph. So question number 3, which set of prepositions can replace hashtag as given in the highlighted sentence. And for solving this question, let us get back to the passage once again. And here we find the first two lines of this particular paragraph. When the second wave of COVID-19 hit hard, many people losing their loved ones, doctors, Arvind Eye Care System realized even their conversations, the workplace were changing. So when we are going to select the preposition, you need to take care that yes, it should be related to the appropriate preposition, the usage. More or less, you should be sticking to the usage of the preposition. Now, let us attack this particular sentence from the last. Before the workplace, it's defining a specific place, but a smaller place. That's why the preposition should be at. So, we will be starting with at, going from the last one. Now, moving ahead, Arvind Eye Care System, before that hashtag is there. So, once again, it is the name of a place. So, it should be preceded by at. So, last two prepositions will be at. Now, moving through the options, you will find you have to find it out what is the correct option in which the last two words will be at. Clearly, it is visible that option D, it starts with and after that at and at. So, obviously, the correct answer is going to be with, at. Now, let us match it. Going from the beginning, it should be like that. When the second wave of COVID-19 hit hard, with many people losing their loved ones, doctors at Arvind Eye Care System realized even their conversation at the workplace were changing. Before the smaller place, we should use the appropriate preposition at, and before the bigger one, we should use in. So here, no option left without selecting option D, which is absolutely perfect according to this particular sentence. So correct answer is option D. Now question number 4. Which of the following words can replace the word scary as used in the passage? Look, one question you can easily expect from the passage depending on the vocab section, right? And this is the question. And you are not supposed to lose any marks over there. Scary means dreary or dreadful kind of thing. Okay. Now, if you go through the option, you will find the first option, it says that scintillating. It means something different, not scary. Direful, that is dreadful. Okay. So, correct answer obviously we have got, that is direful. Brisk is very swift. So, it doesn't have any connection with the word like scary. And the last one, none of this. So, the correct answer eventually comes option B, and that is direful, as I have already ticked it out. Now, we are into the last question of this particular paragraph, passage, whatever you call. Question is asking, which of the following can be the best possible title of the passage? Look, while selecting title, you should be concentrating on the overall theme of this particular passage. Okay. So, more or less, number of times we have focused that the author's intention is to focus on the less smile of the people due to having masks on their faces. Now, option A, it is written that deplorable condition of the poor due to COVID-19. Although the passage reflects the deplorable condition of the people, but still it is not the best title. Life of people, a complete deadlock. Okay, one of the aspects is also conveyed by this fact, the life of people, a complete deadlock. No issue with that, but let us proceed with the rest of the options. Option C, lost smile is disheartening. Number of times I have discussed, the author is primarily focusing on less smile of people as they are having masks on their faces. So, it has become the highlighting factor of the entire passage. And I have already told you, while selecting title, you should take into consideration the overall theme of the passage. And here in option C, it is highlighted, lost smile is disheartening. And that is exactly been identified by the author or reflected throughout the passage. Okay. And D, broad smile less behind the mask. Broad smile less behind the mask. Now, two close options are there. Option C, it is written lost smile is disheartening, And option D, broad smile, less behind the mask. So I have discussed earlier on that the author was talking about the condition before the pandemic. The people used to have broad smile, and now due to having mask on their faces, the people's broad smile has been suppressed. Okay, now the option D, it sounds better, and option C, though it seems that it does have a sense, but D is the better answer. So I will go with option D, and that is reflecting the best title of the passage, and I am just ticking it out. So the correct answer is option D, and it is written broad smile, less behind the mask, and that has been the highlighting factor throughout the passage that has been conveyed by the author. So I am done with passage number 1, which is already been posted in the Telegram channel, and you will also find in the LMS also. Lots of practice sheets are available, and we are naming it at daily practice sheet. So I have already explained all the questions. Total 5 questions were there, and I don't think any doubt will be there right now.